Right, here's how we export our grades from Canvas into TAC. What you want to do is you want to export the gradebook, and what it does is it exports it as a CSV. I will pause after each step, but the one thing I want you to know is that you can use this same format, whether it's Google Sheets. I even use it for Kahoot because I have my kids sign on with their ID and then a space, because the main thing you want to do is be able to isolate the ID in a column with your CSV file, and this will get really easy as you continue to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go export it by going to Actions. I have the hand. I'll pause after each step, left click Actions in the Gradebook, scroll down to Export. Now that I have my export, I know I downloaded, and if you'll look here, it saves it as a CSV. You can only do that if it saves it as CSV. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to go get that file and clean it up into a format that TAC can recognize. So one thing you have to be careful of is that it doesn't have any weird, like this right here, that A, that may throw TAC off. Okay, so I have all of these assignments. You can keep whatever assignment you want, and I'll show you how to do that. But the main thing we want to do is isolate this SIS login ID and the assignments we want. So I'm going to delete everything else. Alright, and I also like to delete the points possible so it doesn't throw it off. Actually, so the first thing I'm going to do is delete the row of points possible. So I do that by clicking on this number 2 right here, and then it highlights it. I left clicked it. Now I'm going to right click it and delete that row, because I remember what that is it tells you how many points are possible. I like to keep it as clean as possible. This is the name of the assignment, and the one thing you have to do is you have to remember which column they're in. So here, we'll give you an example. So I'm going to tell it to only give me the SIS login ID and then whatever assignment I want. Okay, so the way to do that is anywhere. You can put the cross anywhere. I want to press select everything, which is the A, so I press the control button down and A, and that highlights everything. So now I want to say, but I want to keep the SIS login ID, so I press the control button, and then I have the arrow clicking on D. So while I have the control button down, I left click, actually I'm going to double left click D, so it's going to save this column. And then I want to save this Tomatina assignment. So again, I have the arrow. You have to press the control button first and double click that. So I'm saving this. It looks like it's not this isn't formatted right. Well, if I wrap the text, but this is in column F. The grades are. If I scroll down here, you can see the grades. And then let's say I wanted to keep this Ed puzzle. I would put my arrow very carefully. Now I'm going to press the control button and 2 clicks. So I have the SIS login ID, Tomatina, and Ed puzzle. So I'm going to go over here to the gray area. I'm going to right click it, then I'm going to delete it, and it's going to shift all the cells left. So I'm going to press OK. So I have 2 assignments, Tomatina and Ed puzzle. Alright, so now this is where it might get a little tricky. So here's what we're going to do. So if you have it in this format, it's ready to go. But I like to save time and go ahead and fill in missings. So what I want to do is I want to sort this data. Okay, but I don't want to sort this data with it. I want to freeze this, number 1, which says it's the login ID and what the name of the assignment is. So any sorting I do, I don't want that to go with it. So what I do is I left click that one, and again, you could do it like this and it's fine. as long as you memorize that this is in column 1, that's column 2, that's column 3. So which assignment is in which column. But I want to freeze this, so I'm going to left click it where I have that arrow on 1, and then I'm going to go to view. Okay, and so now that I've gone to view, I want to freeze that panel so that it keeps it safe. So I'm going to freeze that top row. Okay, now what I want to do is go ahead and put this missing, but we have to, I'll show you. So we're going to highlight by left clicking the B column. Alright, now I'm going to sort and filter it. So I'm going to go to Data, and then I'm going to click A to Z, so it tells me who did this and who didn't. So I'm sorting this, column B, and I'm expanding the selection so that this grade stays with this ID. So I'm going to press Sort. Alright, so now all these kiddos didn't do it. So I'm going to start right here because all these below are sorted. And 806039 didn't do it, so I'm going to press missing. Now I want to copy all these cells down, so I'm going to barely put till I see the black cross. When I see the black cross, I'm going to pull all those missings down. Okay, we're good to go. So we are perfect and ready for TAC. But what you have to remember is this is in column 1, and let's say you have something in column F. You could have all the assignments you want. You can use this same spreadsheet for all your classes. It just needs the ID. So if I had something in column E, I would have to remember that you always want the ID in column 1, and then let's say I wanted an E, I would count over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd have to remember it's in column 5 to just remember that. Okay, this is an important step too, just to remember that this is called the header row. Okay, you need to remember this here in just a second. You want to keep the header row, which is the title of the assignment. So these are funky. I don't know what happened here, so I don't want to keep these anyway. So I'm going to save this, and like I said, it saves it as a CSV, so I'm going to press save. Now you have to close it. Okay, now what I want to do is I'm going to go to TAC, and here's the assignment already added. I like to press refresh just in case I already clicked on an assignment. Alright, now I want to go to the assignment. Okay, I'm going to click on Mass Update for Score, which is this left one. That's it. If you've clicked anything else, you have to go back and refresh. I have the hand on Import Scores. Import it. I want to import that CSV file. So I'm going to choose the file. I renamed this because we had all the Spanish teachers on there and I wanted them off of it so I could use just my gradebook. So it's in Downloads. I want to double click the file. As you can see, it's saved properly as a CSV file. It's asking which file format. I'm going to indicate CSV. Student ID, remember, it was in column number 1. I always keep that one in column 1. And then the score column, I wanted the tomatina, so that was in the second column, which is B. But like, let's say you had H or something, you would click column 10. This case, you can write in 2 if you want, however. Now this is important. Remember, I said it has a header row that tells what the assignment is. So I'm going to click that blue that tells it has a header row. Okay? So here we go. We did this. Everything looks like it should work perfectly. So now we're going to come on down here and click Import. Alright. And it has successfully imported everything. And like I said, you can do this with anything, Google Sheets, anything you want, as long as you can get the ID with the score. So we can save that. I probably not going to save it, but let's say you wanted to do another class with the same assignment. You just come on down here to change and use the same file. But I don't think all my classes did this, so I'm not going to use that as an example. Alright, that's it. That's how you export the grades. If you have any questions, let me know. I know this backwards and forwards. I've been doing it forever. Took me a while to figure it all out, but I like the fact that now it saves me a ton of time.